talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is J.H. How you doing, Postal family? Everybody good? Everybody cool? Everybody clean? Everybody crisp? Everybody okay? You okay? Haha. Are you Irie? Let's talk. There is no but first. We just gonna jump right into it. Let me thank the person that sent this to me. This is coming out of the Atlanta area. Atlanta, for those that don't know, is the area that has the first RPDC, Regional Processing and Distribution Center, in the country. So don't think it doesn't affect you. I tried to told you. I tried to tell you. But let's hear what they have to say and dissect this. Problematic? I think it is. And you should too. Please post on Atlanta bid cluster bid boards. Senior volunteers in lieu of excessed employees. Volunteers in lieu instead of excessed employees. This was posted from December 20th, which just passed, up until January 3rd. I believe this is going on for the mail handlers as well. Full-time clerk positions have been identified as excess to the needs of the Atlanta bid cluster. What does that mean? Well, I'm not a union person and I don't read contracts, but that's pretty specific. A clerk position has been found to be as excess to the needs. They don't need them. You're extra to the needs for the specific Atlanta bid cluster. Again, they're doing this nationwide. This is just the first. Full-time clerk employees may volunteer to be reassigned in lieu of employees identified as excessed, instead of being one of those people that are excessed. Volunteers will be reassigned in seniority order, with seniority in the new installation determined by the particular craft article of the collective bargaining agreement of the position. That means if you're a clerk and you work in bundle sorters or whatever the hell they do, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie to you, and they don't need them over there at the new place, you're back at the bottom of the list. But there's people that are working the APBS machines that they need, they're gonna be ahead of you. It's just what I'm reading. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it means. If you remain in the clerk craft, you will retain your seniority. Volunteers will not be entitled to retreat rights to the Atlanta bid cluster in accordance with the provisions of the collective bargaining agreement. In accordance with what the agreement says, any senior employee in the same craft or occupational group in the same installation may elect to be reassigned to the gaining craft installation. They have to move from one and they have another place. They have to move from here. They can elect to go to the new place. Seniority for employees is established in the respective gaining craft article. Such senior employees who accept reassignment to the gaining installation, gaining facility, do not have retreat rights. What are retreat rights? Somebody fill us in. If you put the full definition in there, I will pin the comment for other people that want to know, because people will want to know. All new duty assignments created in the gaining installation, any new, like let's say they got new machines and they got new duties, any new duty assignments created in the gaining installation, the one that's getting you, and all other vacant duty assignments in the centralized installation shall be posted for bid. 180 days is computed from the date of the first detail of the employee. Bidding shall be open to all full-time clerks and craft involved at the gaining installation. This includes full-time clerks assigned to the gaining installation. Why are you reading this, Jay? Because once I put it up there, you're not going to be able to really zoom in. Or you might, I don't know, unless you watch it on TV. Should you choose to volunteer, you must meet the minimum qualifications for the position available. Placement will be made by seniority. If the duty assignment has additional skills for which you are not presently qualified, you'll be given the appropriate training to learn those skills. Some examples of skills are scheme, retail training, BMEU training. If you fail to successfully qualify for the skills attached to the duty assignment, you will be separated from the United States Postal Service. Means you'll be fired. If there's a new requirement for your new job duty and you have to get training, but you can't meet the requirements of that training, it's there. It says they can fire you. They use separated. If you fail to successfully qualify for the skills attached to the duty assignment, you'll be separated from the U.S. Postal Service. In other words, what I do, DSI, they say, okay, well, you need to be qualified for all the vehicles, be able to drive all the vehicles. If you have a carrier can drive all the vehicles except for a commercial vehicle if they don't have the commercial license. So if they give you the opportunity to go get a commercial license and you don't get it, then you're separated. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So when they posted the position from me, the people that were already there, yes, they had the qualifications because they could drive almost all the vehicles except for tractor trailers. So they hired somebody that could drive a tractor trailer as well as all the other vehicles. I just needed training on the remainder of the vehicles. So the people that were in the bidding got booted from it pretty much. Wasn't my fault, I didn't write this, but that's what happened, okay? Only manual requests will be accepted from a full-time clerk craft employees in the Atlanta bid cluster for the opportunity described above on this posting. See supervisor to receive the silo volunteer phone. The posting will close at 11:59 p.m. on the date of closing. Volunteer forms will not be accepted after posting date. Any employee who has submitted a volunteer request shall have the right to withdraw before the closing date of the posting. Employees requesting to volunteer senior in lieu must submit their completed silo volunteer form to such and such. Requests must be received in the office no later than 11:59 p.m., etc. Says the person's specific name, etc. Now, what happens to the people that don't have the seniority? What happens? Now, I could be wrong, but I may be right. Because if you have seniority and you go for another job, basically the same clerk job, but they have new equipment in it or a new requirement, or they say, hey, as well as doing your APBS, you need to be able to drive a tow motor. Now, I'm just making stuff up now. And for some reason, you can't be qualified on driving a tow motor just because you just can't drive, whatever the reason is. Because you have vision problems, whatever. Right there, it completely says you fail to successfully qualify for the skills attached to the duty assignment. You'll be separated from the U.S. Postal Service. Going by seniority. Now, this apparently is in the contract, the collective bargaining agreement that was via APWU. I'm sure every single employee knows about this, right? Everybody underneath the APWU know about this. I'm being sarcastic, of course. You know about it now. Know about it now. What they're saying, examples, scheme training, Scheme training means that they're gonna, let's say you're working at a station and they have to teach you a specific scheme for a specific zip code. New York 10002, something like that. And you have to learn the streets for the scheme, where you need to throw it and you need to kind of memorize the street, all this other stuff. If that was the case and you failed to qualify, because people, when they want to bid for a specific, hours, they say, hey, you got to complete scheme training, and they can't complete it, or they fail to, those people won't get that bid. Typically, as a regular clerk at a station, what they're saying here is if you got to go to training for something and you can't complete it, you have no job. Says you will be separated from the U.S. Postal Service. BMEU, bulk mail entry unit training. I believe that's where people bring bulk mail. You gotta weigh it and all this other stuff before it goes through. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really touch mail. So just understand, this is going on at the first place that we spoke about a year ago. So that only means what? You already know. This ain't about a brag thing. This is about an information thing. People are like, oh, this guy being smug on here. No, I'm on here sharing information. There's people that they work at their plants and they don't get any information. They're like, man, I asked my supervisor, I don't know. That's my plan, I don't know. Look, I don't know much either. But I do know there's a lot of you guys out there get little bits and pieces of information. And when you share it with me, I'm gonna share it back. I'm gonna research it, I'm gonna look at it, but this is from the plan itself. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It was inevitable because we were talking about it. And here it goes. It's starting the beginning of the year. What y'all gonna do? What you think about it? JH, passing that information on. Hopefully this enlightens somebody. I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.